What's the most unbelievable thing that happened to you on a date? So this happened a few years ago. I was 19 and I was on a date with this girl who was 23. We had been talking for a while and we decided to go to this little cafe near where we work. I didn't think much of it at the time, just a first date. You know, we sat down, we started talking. It was going well, and then I felt something. I felt something very strange, a connection. And then we started making out, and I was like, whoa, this is crazy. Like, I haven't felt this before. And then she stopped and she said, I'm sorry, and she left. And I was confused. I was like, what just happened? Why did she just leave? And then a few days later, I got a call from my mom and she said, can you come over? And I was like, yeah, sure. And when I got there, she was crying, and I was like, what's wrong? And she told me that her friend had told her that I had kissed this girl, and she wanted to know if it was true. And I was like, what? No, I would never. And then she told me that the girl had gone to her friend and said that we had made out. And I was like, oh my God. And then I called my sister and I told her, and she was like, you have to tell your mom everything. So I called my mom back and I told her that we had actually made out, and she was really mad. And then she told me that she needed to talk to this girl's mother and she left. Well, a few days later, my mom comes back and she tells me that she talked to the girl's mom and they decided that the best thing for us was to be together. And I was like, what? No, I don't want to be with her. But then they all left and I stayed in my room for like a week. I didn't come out. I was so embarrassed. And then one day I heard my parents talking. And they were talking about how they couldn't believe that their son was seeing someone that they had set him up with. And I was like, wait, what? And then I went downstairs and I was like, you set me up with your friend. And they were like, yeah, we thought you two would be good together. And I was like, but I'm your son. And then they were like, oh. And then I was like, oh my God.